What's going on, guys? It's your boy CMB. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and let's get into this one really quickly. Now, guys, we are talking about the situation with Danny Garcia and Errol the True Spence Jr. Now, you guys know last Saturday night, Danny Garcia defeated Jose Benavidez Jr. in his first fight at 154 pounds. And during the in-ring interview after the fight, Danny Garcia broke down. He broke down and he revealed that he's been suffering from depression and anxiety, and it took a lot of people by surprise. It took me by surprise, and I think it took Danny by surprise that he actually broke down like that and was, being transparent about what he was dealing with. Now, Errol the True Spence Jr. Wrote on his, I think it was his Twitter. I'm trying to pull it up now, guys. What he said. 1 second here, guys. Okay, so he wrote, Danny and his pops need to stop making excuses of why they lost to me. Nobody trying to hear that ish for real. And I think Errol got a lot of heat for that tweet from some of the fans out here. They were saying that Errol was being insensitive to Danny Garcia. Now, Errol pretty much doubled down on it. He tweeted something out again. He was talking about how people, are trying to figure out how they're going to pay their mortgage and their rent every month, and nobody cares about, a rich guy being depressed. And he talked about how his elders felt worse, that my elders felt worse than me. So, he was kind of still taking Danny to task a little bit. And I did make a video about the first tweet, and, how I said that, I wanted to tread lightly because, when you're dealing with depression and anxiety, you don't want to be insensitive. And that was what Errol was accused of. Now, Danny has finally responded. He responded later on to Errol. He said that no excuses. At Errol Spence, no excuses. I said you won fair and square. You were the better man that night. Anxiety and depression is real and can affect you. It don't have nothing to do with being rich. And Errol responded back. He said it was most directed at your pops for his comments on why you lost, like I wasn't coming back from something, and you're right, it doesn't. Respect to you though for talking about it and showing that side, something that most of us won't or not ready to do. So it seems like they did kind of squash that. I'm happy to hear that. And I think both guys are right. Errol Spence, he has been through a lot of things as well. You guys know he dealt with the car accident, coming back from that, and he also dealt with an eye injury, a torn retina. So he's been, going through a lot of things as well. But people handle things differently. And one thing Danny's right about, it's not about money. You could have a lot of money, you could be very successful, and you're still, you still can be in a state of depression and have anxiety. We've seen many people who, are very wealthy deal with depression, and some of them, even, take their own lives. We've seen Robin Williams. He was a very successful comedian, actor, and he took his own life. So it really doesn't have anything to do with money. But at the same time, I do see what Errol's saying. I've been through things too. You can't really use that as an excuse of why you lost. Now, I think, Danny said it dealt with his depression came from a lot of stuff that, dealing with boxing and dealing with his family life. Now, I don't know what's going on inside of his family life, but looking at Danny's career during 147, Danny Garcia lost, all of his big fights at 147. So I could see that, playing into him being depressed, losing to Keith Thurman, losing to Showtime Sean Porter, and then losing the biggest fight that he had at 147 to Errol Spence Jr. I can see how, something like that would, make him doubt himself, as a fighter, or maybe he feels like he's letting down his fans. Maybe he feels like he's letting down his family, disappointing people, and stuff like that can weigh heavy on you. And it's just an all, people handle stuff like that differently. So you can't really, say that he's not suffering, from depression, from anxiety. It's just people deal with things differently. We see how Errol dealt with his. I did a video a while back saying, Errol's built different. Errol might go through that type of stuff. He might have been depressed. He might have shed a tear or two, but he's probably an introverted person and he doesn't share that type of stuff. Maybe he just handled it better than Danny seemed to handle it. Danny broke down in the ring. I'm sure he didn't want to start crying in the ring. And sometimes it happens. Things weigh heavy on you, and sometimes you need an outlet, and that was the outlet. He won the fight. He was happy about it, and it just all came spilling out. But hats off to Danny Garcia for being honest about his feelings, and hats off to Errol Spence Jr. too for speaking his mind, saying what he feels, and him and Danny kind of talking it out here on Twitter. I respect both of those guys. Both of those guys are great fighters. They've done great things in the sport, and I'm just happy to see that they've taken care of this. Angel Garcia is always in the middle of something. He always says something that somebody doesn't like, and that's just Angel loving his son. He really does care about Danny, and he's always going to big up Danny no matter what. He's always going to try to put Danny in a good light, because he's a proud father. Even if he's annoying to people, he's a proud father. But you guys tell me what you think about this situation with Danny Garcia dealing with depression and anxiety. How do you feel about what Errol Spence Jr. said? You guys let me know in the comment section. It's the CMB. I'll talk to you guys in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.